became like a thing.
And ladies and gentlemen, the OCD.
Good morning, everybody.
So, I want to hear about Math coming to see you out in Jersey. I want to hear the entire story because no one's talked to me about it.
All right. Well, you know, when he said that he was coming to New Jersey, that's when I started considering, like, what can we do? Like, what are we going to be able to do when he's here? Because he's going to come on a Saturday for July 4th weekend, and we, as just a couple, me and Jess, just never do anything for July 4th. So once we heard that Bay was basically going to take over what he's doing for the entire time he's over, me and Jess were fine. So as soon as she was making plans, me and Jess were like, all right, whenever you want us, we'll be there. And then she decided on going to the mall on a Sunday, which in our minds we will never do, just because the mall that she wanted to go to is always packed.
That's not the same one we went to, is it?
No, different one, completely different one. The one that we went to was amazing.
And so when did he show up? Was it a Thursday or Friday or something when he got out there?
I think he was supposed to come on Friday morning, but it turned out to be Friday night or Saturday morning because his flights were just completely delayed. Or like his flight delayed 6 hours from Friday morning, and then he left at like 8 o'clock at night or something. So once he got to New Jersey, that's when he was completely dead tired. So we really didn't do much.
Yeah, so he lost pretty much an entire day. I remember hearing that. And
one whole day.
For future reference, anybody out there, when that happens to you, you need to complain and see if you can get a voucher or something. I mean, your time is valuable. There's, missed time off of work, and you just make up a sob story like, yeah, I was going out to see my family and my loved ones, etc., and I'd like some compensation. It was really inconvenient, and sometimes they'll kick you a voucher for a couple $100 or something. Yeah,
it's the best thing to do. Like, if that ever happens, make up a BS story. They'll 99% of the time believe it and actually do something for you.
Or you could claim something to the effect of, yeah, I paid for a rental car and I missed a day on that and I missed a day on my hotel, so on and so forth. And there could be a lot of truth to it, but definitely lay it on thick because they will give you a voucher or some kind of compensation.
They do need to keep their company in good terms with people. They're not gonna say no most of the time, unless you come up with a totally BS story that they won't believe.
Recent public relations snafus notwithstanding, they should try to make it right.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's out there, and you met up with. They spent the day doing something on Saturday, and then you hung out with them on Sunday.
Yeah, on Sunday they decided, hey, we should go to the mall, grab some dinner, and then we'll see what we can do there. And it turned out to be Bay and Jess shopping for a couple hours, and me and Math basically holding their tails while they're walking around in all different like makeup shops and stuff like that.
Yeah, how did the girls get along? I don't get the feeling they were close beforehand.
No, they weren't close at all, but they clicked because they liked makeup. I think that was the big deciding factor. So they got along with all the makeup shops and all the shopping and all the clothes. And then me and Matt were just basically locking eyes from across the stores the entire time.
Shopping is a good way to find out if you click with someone, because you can discuss various topics and various kinds of clothes and music and stuff you see at Spencer's. It's actually a pretty good hangout spot in a way.
Well, yeah, the mall is always a good hangout spot, regardless of what age you are, if you like it or not. It's a good way to make new friends and get to know people, because like you said, it's just a bunch of people together, and if you click with somebody, you'll probably make out to be a very good companion to them, even if you've never known them before.
Yeah, you can just get a feel for, are you into the same kinds of things? Like, is what your taste in music and clothes and shoes and all that kind of stuff says something about you, I think.
Yeah. Like if you're in Hot Topic and you see somebody in Hot Topic, you're probably going to get along.
Oh yeah, but dude, I went on a date with a girl not too long ago, and I was walking around with her in downtown Santa Fe, like just keeping the conversation going pretty much single-handedly. You know, she wasn't saying much, and I'm just bouncing things off of her too. Like we walked through a little art gallery, and I'm like, after we had gotten done looking at pieces, I'm like, okay, you have to buy one thing. Which of them is it going to be? You know, and it was really tough to get much out of her. It was not the best chemistry of a date sort of thing.
Ooh, yeah, just a full-on one-way. You talk into basically a brick wall with legs.
Well, it can be really bad. You can crash and burn terribly in that kind of situation. Like, I think I handled it pretty well, all things considered. But yeah, it was one of those things where I'm throwing out random questions and like, oh, which did you like the best? Or look at that dress in the window. It's cool, but I never see any girls actually wearing that kind of thing in real life. Just anything to keep it light and playful, you know?
And then you get the yeah, yeah, maybe, sure. Those little answers.
Yeah, you get that, and depending on how severe they are, that tells you whether or not she just is not attracted to you at all, or something to that effect.
She's on her phone, texting her friends to come get her.
Oh, it wasn't that bad, but it could have been.
As long as it wasn't that bad, that would have been hard to handle for me, at least.
Yeah, I mean, after we grabbed a couple beers and some food, and then after that, it was kind of feeling each other out to see if we want to hang out more. And she came back to my place and hung out for a bit, but there was no hooking up. So I guess it was lukewarm because she wanted to come hang out afterwards, but it wasn't warm enough to hook up. So go figure.
Yeah, well, I guess there was something there, but not too much of that something. Maybe she wanted to know more, and then once she got to your place, that's when she kind of sealed the deal in her head. I'm assuming.
But what was she looking for? To see how fancy it was, or to see?
Yeah, maybe to see nice does he have a bookshelf with some books that I'm interested in, or like, is his bathroom clean enough? I don't know, like some little things like that.
Yeah, I mean, she claimed to be a little bit nerdy, but maybe she was seeing if her kind of nerdy matched up with my kind of nerdy, which you know what kind of nerdy my kind of nerdy is.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna have those posters stapled to your wall or stuck to your wall, unless you do, and I just haven't seen your room in X amount of years.
Yeah, I keep it sort of tasteful. Yeah, there are the kinds of nerdy where you have all the anime posters and wall scrolls taped up to your walls, and then there's the kind of nerdy where you enjoy some online gaming with your friends and can watch an anime or something that kind of vein. Yeah,
a little subtle nerd / geek. And yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, or a nerd / geek masquerading as someone who's completely normal or sort of a jock or something.
Well, do you still have or did you get a new moose head for your wall?
I kept the same one. That thing rode with me in the car. I was afraid the movers would break it. Yeah, it's not quite a moose, unfortunately. It's like some sort of deer type creature from South Africa.
At least you got something on your wall.
I got plenty of nice things on my walls, little art pieces from various countries I've been to. There's nothing overtly nerdy on the walls. There's no anime posters or even movie posters or... What else is really stereotypically bad?
The pop figures. You don't have like a huge stack of those, eh?
What's a pop figure?
Those little little figurines that everybody's collecting now. It's like this year's Beanie Babies, or like this decade's Beanie Babies. They're basically little figures of popular movies or like animes and stuff like that.
Are they like plastic figurines that have a really big head? And
they're really big
kind
heads.
Of an exaggerated version of what the character looked like?
100%, yes.
Okay, I've seen them. I know what they are. Yeah, not the kind of thing I'm inclined to collect.
Yeah, there's people that have like stacks of them in their house.
Yeah, that'd be pretty nerdy. I think that might be a turnoff if you're bringing in random girls, especially if they're over the age of 30.
Yeah, some people like that, though. I don't know. It's just like the Beanie Baby thing. Some people were really into it and had 50,000 of them, and other people are like, "What? Why are you wasting your money on that? What's going on?"
That'd be a little bit dangerous if I met a girl like that, though. One who was super nerdy in her own right, but not able to break a mirror with her appearance.
I mean, that's kind of what I kind of have. I like it.
Yeah, I feel like you kind of do. Just not ugly by any stretch of the imagination, and she's really nerdy.
She's just enough nerd, just enough geek, and that's kind of
Do you
mended.
draw a line somewhere? Is there a line in the sand between nerd and geek where it becomes unacceptable?
I mean, her Harry Potter thing is like to a point, but like she's not going out and parading that she's a wizard or a witch. But like it's fun. It's something that from her childhood that she kept going. For me, it's video games, as you know. Like I'll play video games all day, all night, regardless of time, regardless if I have work or if I need to go to sleep. That's me. I like video games. And she does that with movies and stuff from her childhood. So Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, that's all her.
But that's endearing, and it's, I guess maybe a geek is the sort of social awkwardness where you can't string two sentences together without being extremely awkward and really quiet and kind of get the feeling that you're about to shoot up the school.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where the line gets drawn, somewhere in there.
Probably like the social. That's the social aspect. Is if you're too introverted and you can't talk to somebody for a minute, that's a little much for me because I'm very outgoing. I will talk to anybody and everybody at a party, even if I know them or not. I'll make a fool out of myself in front of people, but if you're gonna sit there and not do anything, or like not try and stop me or help me at the same time, you gotta mend. And she does that. She basically calls me out on my BS most of the time, and if I get a little too rowdy, she'll calm me down.
But speaking of that, did you and Math play off each other in real life the way it seems like you could?
100%, dude.
Fucking love to hear that. That's awesome.
Like once we got to the mall, I had my back to them, and Jess was like, "Oh my god!" Turned around, I was like, "What's going on?" And as soon as we saw each other, I was like, in the back of my head, I looked at him. He looks like a lost child in the mall, but he's 6'4", and he's just a giant teddy bear. And I was like, "No, First thing I did was hug him. I made the mistake of not hugging you and Joel when you guys came here, but that's the first thing I did. And we basically met eye to eye, and I kind of just embraced for a minute. It was pretty nice.
Long lost internet friends.
Yeah.
It's kind of how you imagine like meeting an online girlfriend, but even better because bromance.
Yeah, and then dude, Bay was chill. I don't know why she doesn't want to come like hang out with us every once in a while, go to a bar. I know she doesn't drink. But like we could go to the bar, grab something to eat, have some fun. Because I'm pretty sure we clicked.
Maybe has the Asian thing where you're intolerant to alcohol or you get super intoxicated super fast. That's a thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I don't care. We can go to the place with $2 Yinglings, the 50-cent wings. We can go eat wings all night and just BS the entire night. I don't care. As long as you're out, have some friends. Don't play Vindy all day. Don't play Blade and Soul all day. Gotta go out.
Yeah, I agree. A little bit of a break is good. And yeah, I don't know how many people she has that she goes out and does that with. I have no clue about her, actually.
She took Math to Philly on Saturday, I think it was. And they had a powwow with her friends from Philly. Math had some, what's it called? I don't know what the hell it's called. Some Asian food, dim sum, and he apparently didn't like it, and it kind of hurt Bay's feelings. But it's not for everybody. I know that.
Why would you take that personally? I mean, come on, that's a personal choice.
Oh no, yeah, it's person. She was just like, all right, let's go to California Pizza Kitchen when we go with OCD and Simply, and we did. We had some pizza, and we walked around the mall, and like I said, me and Math were walking around, hanging by their coattails, and they were shopping, and we were just BSing behind their back for the entire time.
That's perfect. And was that the only day you got to hang out with them? Was the Sunday?
Yeah, it was a Sunday, and then they were like, hey, you want to go see a movie? And there's nothing out, so our idea was, let's go 10 minutes away and go to Monster Mini Golf, which is mini golf in like a neon lit room, and it was pretty fun.
I saw some Snapchats of that, I think.
Yeah, I don't mini golf. Nobody really mini golf, so we were just there BSing. We started we started in front of people. Like a family came in with 2 kids, and we started already. We were on, I think, hole 2, and then all of a sudden they were behind us at hole like 4, and they were waiting for us. And we're like, all right, so let's speed this up, right? Okay, we're speeding it up. They waited. We got to like hole 7 or 8, and it was a good 2-hole distance between us until hole like 15, where these kids, I don't know what happened. They might have been like teaming up with Tiger Woods, but they were on our asses at hole like 16, and they were a good 4 holes behind us at a time, and they just rushed behind us. But hey, we had a little bit of fun. Not, I think our scores, Bay wrote down our scores, but I don't know. We didn't really tally them up. We just had fun. And then we played in their little arcade, and yeah.
You would have to be such a weirdo to take mini golf scores seriously.
Oh yeah,
neon, whatever.
Yeah, monster mini golf. We're all just like, everything there had like a monster theme. There were zombies. There were a big giant statue that came to life every once in a while.
On the other hand, though, like it's really embarrassing to let a couple of young kids play through. Like, you know how on the regular golf course, if somebody's just kicking your ass and they're on your tail, you can just let them play through ahead of you. It's kind of embarrassing to have to let the kiddos play through like that.
They were like 4 or 5 years old, and I was like, oh no, they're catching up to us. Let's go quicker, come on. But yeah, at the end of it, Jess got, like, they had a little arcade, so Jess is good with the claw machines. So she got 3 rubber duckies that squeak, and I gave Math a ring and an ice cream cone for Bay, because for arcades I normally do the basketball game, because that gives you the most credits or whatever, and I'm not that bad at it, but I did not beat the record.
Was it another Dave & Buster's or just something kind of like that? Like
a mini Dave, like it was maybe 30 feet by 20 feet. It wasn't that big. It had a couple of machines, and we had a good time. We took a couple. I think it was me and Jess took the photo booth, and Bay and Math took the photo booth as well.
And what kind of ring was it? I hope it was a fancy schmancy one.
Oh, it was like 5 credits. It was some like crappy, like, what, Pirates of the Caribbean pirate logo ring.
Oh, fantastic. That's perfect. Like made out of the material that soda can tops are made out of.
Exactly. Yeah. It didn't even fit on his finger, so it was fine.
Aluminum foil or lesser quality.
Basically.
Perfect. I love it.
Yeah, that entire time was pretty fun. I knew we were gonna click. I didn't think it was gonna be that quick though.
I mean, it's been a lot of years of hanging out, and granted, it's not the same as hanging out IRL, but it fits into people's lives so easily. It's so good.
Yeah, it was pretty nice seeing him IRL. Same thing with you and Joel. Like it was nice to finally see you guys. You know what I mean? Not like tiny chat, see you guys, but be able to physically see you.
Yeah, I had a good time. If I ever go on another sabbatical like that, there definitely needs to be another meetup with everyone.
Yeah, I mean, Ben, Phil, Jacob now too. Like, Jacob's become part of the beans.
I need to spend more time with those guys, but I just can't get the ginormous erection for Blade and Soul.
Yeah, I know. Like I said to Matt. No, yeah, I said it to you. The Gunner's coming out, so you might enjoy that a little bit.
But what's the end game content like these days? Are you still gathering materials to create the weapon that's just kind of a set path? Yeah.
In the future, though, it'll be. I don't know if they're gonna bring the entire Korean patch to us, but over there, it's everything's RNG. So everything costs a little bit less, but everything has a chance to fail. So,
is there any RNG with weapon enhancements now? I can't remember.
No. The only big RNG thing is the enhancement stones, where you basically need to turn 100 gold worth of materials into something that costs 250, and if you fail, that's 100 gold lost. which if you farm all day, that's about a third of a day of farming. But
So
it still hurts.
So you're farming to take a role on creating the mats you need to enhance?
Yes.
Okay, I follow.
Which is pretty nice in my eyes. I don't know. It's not the whole Vindy thing, but Vindy was a lot of RNG, and that kind of started to turn me off, given that the only way to get better is to basically spend my entire paycheck on stuff. And that started to hurt every once in a while, knowing that I've put in a lot of money and I'm still not fully endgame.
They were steep on the microtransactions in that game, really steep.
Compared to this one where, hey, you know when you're endgame. Like you know it.
It really bothers me how the outfits work in Blade and Soul, where you put on one thing and that's your outfit.
Same, dude. And you can't color it, you can't do anything to it.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, there comes a time for that. And that's now, right? Like right now, they'll put in different outfits in our in the shop, and you can basically even either swipe for it if you really like it, or you can just sell gold and get it that way. But in my mind, I don't do the cosmetic thing. I know you do. You do you. But
I mean, you did the cosmetic thing in your own way, although it became sort of a joke with the pink tutu and the manly bearded man.
Oh yeah, and that's basically it. Once this outfit was going off sale, I was like, you know what? I'll sell 60 gold, buy it, and everything will be fine. I didn't think that it was going to stick this much, but it did. So, kind of happy about that. Other than that, I don't really have too many outfits.
But speaking of Blade and Soul, we need to shamelessly plug the channel. So, ladies and gentlemen, the OCDenhanced has a pretty strong following in Blade and Soul, both in terms of streaming and YouTube videos, right?
Yeah. Either twitch.tv/OCDenhanced, all one word, youtube.com/OCDenhanced, Twitter, same thing, and Patreon, same thing. OCDenhanced is basically me in every single game. If not, it's just OCD. That's it. That's my shameless plug. I do stream almost every day. I put out a video Monday through Friday of what I do in Blade and Soul, and it's basically the shameless plug that I normally do.
That is a lot of content generated, but a lot of it's repetitive because you're grinding the same sort of raids, aren't you?
Yeah, for every day, but it's at the end, everybody likes a box opening, right? So at the end of it, I open up the boxes, see what we get. If I got anything good, we cheer, we have a good time. I get off camera, you guys don't see what I do. I come back on nice and happy.
What do you do off camera?
Oh, I go crazy. If I get anything good, I walk off camera, I freak out for a little bit, come back on camera, and everything's fine.
That's the good stuff. That's what I want to see. Yeah,
I mean, yesterday or the day before, when I found out the news of Chester, I kind of was in the dirt for that entire episode after that.
Were you emo? Somebody linked a Linkin Park video.
Oh no, I wasn't. No, I remember listening to him before every single football game I ever had, and it was kind of hit home.
That's right. Yeah,
knowing that. Oh.
I'm not that much older than you. Yeah, it was huge when we were in middle school and high school, right?
Yeah, it was. They were nuts. Like it got rid of all my pregame jitters, gave me some motivation, still giving me goosebumps just thinking about the songs right before the game. And
to date ourselves right now, the Chester Bennington from Linkin Park passed away like 2 or 3 days ago, killing himself. So that's a big deal for us. He was a huge rock star.
And then after that, it was I was listening to them throughout the entire video, and then at the end of the video, the game basically, you get a spin every 20 minutes. I did my last spin, and it landed me on a premium spot, and the game basically gives you $10. Well, a chance of $10, and I landed on that chance, and it's pretty nice. Got off camera, played with Primo a little bit, freaked out, and came back on cam.
And in terms of viewership, how many people are tuning in for the stream, or how many people are subscribed? What are the numbers like?
Sub count on on YouTube is 1,500. Follower count on Twitch is 632 because I have it open, working on the Twitch page right now. What else? And during the times where I'm actually streaming Blade and Soul stuff, I'll get around 35 viewers on YouTube, around 20 viewers on Twitch, because I do stream on both. So if you like Twitch, use the Twitch layout. If you like YouTube, use the YouTube layout. But
are they going simultaneously? Is that a thing?
Yeah. YouTube has a little bit more of a delay, but Twitch is there 100%.
YouTube is fantastic for lurkers, but that's on you kind of want to be subbed and logged in on your account in order to give credit to you, correct?
No, as long as you're watching the stream, I have the capability of playing an ad every once in a while. I normally try and do it every 30 minutes. If I miss the 30-minute mark, I'll do it every hour.
Does it choose what kind of ads you're going to play? How does that work?
Yes, it's Google. It's Google AdSense. So if you watch a lot of content for League of Legends, right, and you come to my stream and I play an ad, you'll probably get a League of Legends ad or some sort of gaming ad.
So it's based off the person's cookies of their particular browser. Okay.
Yeah. So if you log onto YouTube right now, let's log into YouTube. YouTube.com. My first recommended videos is Blade and Soul content, Hearthstone content, Witwix from Twitch, Twitch fails, and the React channel. All those, if I take off my ad blocker, I will be getting Hearthstone stuff, Hearthstone ads, Twitch ads, which is basically just gaming ads revolved around Twitch, or just a basic YouTube ad for YouTube Red, because that's what they push most of the time.
That's great, though. That's great that you don't have to see ads for like Toyota Corollas and things you have no interest in at all.
Exactly. It's pretty nice.
Targeted advertising getting better and better these days, people.
Yeah. And that's another thing. I kind of want to go out to the people that basically fund YouTubers right now. So for me, it would be like, Harry's Dollar Shave Club, or like Harry's Shaving.
I actually use Harry's razors. Actually, they're quite good.
I can basically go out to them and be like, hey, I shave my head every week. Do you want to plug on my stream? Do you want to plug on my YouTube videos? I do daily videos, yada yada. I could go to beard oil places like beardalizer.com. They're pretty nice. I use right now Bear Brawler beard oil, which is it's amazing for my beard. And right now, dude, I'll tell you, like I told the stream, I'm gonna make a video after this. I'm thinking about losing another 20 pounds. So I'll probably, if that happens, I can probably reach out to some weightlifting programs. Be like, hey, you want a shout out? If you help me out with this, I'll give you a shout out every one of my videos. I know I'm only 1,000 subs strong, but when you start them,
so many questions are popping to mind now. Has anyone signed on to be an official sponsor? Is that what you would call them? Like if Harry's was sending you razors to plug them on the stream, has that happened yet?
No, not yet. But like I said, I need to reach out to them. They're not gonna find me on a Blade and Soul stream. They mostly look for the daily vlogs and stuff like that. But technically, I am a daily vlog since I do put out a video Monday through Friday, and I try and put out videos. I try and stream Saturdays. Sunday's my only day to watch my hair grow.
And then the weight loss thing, so I'm taking it you lost 20 pounds and kept it off?
Yeah, I don't remember if I told you. I hit around 285 pounds a while ago, like a year ago. And I decided to lose a bunch of weight, and I lost it, and I put some back on. But I felt good. But now I just kind of want to do it for fun. I kind of just want to lose that extra 20 pounds because I stepped on the scale today. I was 263, which is perfect in my mind. Like 250 to 260 was basically where I wanted to stay for the rest of my life, because it does fit my body. But But with the recent stuff that's been coming up, like my job, basically starting Monday will be Monday through Friday to a set time, so I'll know when I'm coming home, when I can stream. I can set up a schedule and have an hour off for myself to go work out downstairs with my brother for a little bit and lose some weight. So.
And how tall are you again? With math, you said was 6'4".
Yeah, I'm 6'4" as well. But he was he's a little bit more lanky than me, a little lankier than me. So he's got some longer arms, he's got longer legs. I'm very compact, but
well, this is what happens when you need to use your muscle and your job. I get the feeling math doesn't need to have functional muscle capacity to too much degree.
Well, he's basically doing the same thing as me now, so.
Because he's laying cable with his dad, yeah. But does he still have anything else on the side, or just that?
I think he quit the other thing for now, so he's helping his dad full time. And I think that's the reason why he was able to come to Jersey, because of his dad.
Yeah, hey Dad, I need a long weekend off. Bye.
Give me a couple days. I love you. Bye.
That's a nice schedule to be on if you're making decent money while you're at it.
Oh yeah, they're making bank. I know they're doing pretty well right now. But everybody has bills, everybody has stuff to take care of. So
it's expensive to live these days. I feel like middle class people are squeezed pretty hard.
Yeah, they are. 100%, man.
Even with what we call good wages, it goes quick in terms of rent and insurance, car insurance, and property taxes. If you're paying that, your regular payroll tax, they take 30% off the top right there.
Yeah, and you're left with what, a couple $100?
Sure feels that way. And then you spend those remaining couple $100 on microtransactions for MMOs, and boom, it's all over.
It's all gone. Yeah,
it's all ogre now.
Yeah, it's been tough, but hey, you know what? With streaming, I find great pleasure in doing it. So if anybody comes into my stream and donates $1, I'm ecstatic, because that's more than I thought would ever come to the channel. So.
Yeah, I'm astounded with how good you really took the ball and ran with it, because you play games that not everyone has a huge boner for. It's not Call of Duty and it's not Minecraft or whatever else people stream. I don't know. I don't really watch streams, but some of the AGDQ, like after it's already been recorded, is cool to watch. I like seeing how expertly they play those games.
You're talking about AGDQ, bro. I watched my favorite game. I watch my favorite games every year get demolished.
And they do better and better, and there's new strats and new stuff every time. The commentary is usually pretty funny, if nothing else, just for the fact that you're sort of on the autism spectrum if you're that kind of person that speedruns games anyway.
But bro, like, I remember playing like Diddy Kong Racing. I have it behind my computer right now, plugged into an i64. I can go play that right now. But to see that game be beaten in 20 minutes compared to the hours I spent trying to get a couple achievements, it hits hard, but it's so much fun watching them.
It's insane. And the classic Ocarina of Time run with Cosmo explaining every nuance of how the speedrun came to be was just great. I remember seeing that and being blown away with the commentary and the forum posts that people would put up about various strats. Have you seen that run, the legendary one?
Yeah. I've seen them all, but I don't really know too much about Zelda game. Like I never grew up with them. I never grew up with Link. I grew up with Mario. So I never really played.
They went hand in hand. If you had a Nintendo console, you should have been playing a Zelda game.
See, that wasn't me. I was always Mario, Super Mario Bros. 2, 3, then the 64 version. That took my life for a long while, and then Pokemon just came into full blast, and that took me for a ride.
Mario 64. The insane things people have done to that game are just so ridiculous. I can't even.
Yeah, it's disgusting. And I remember watching a speedrun of a Zelda game. I don't remember which one, but I was watching it with Joel. And the guy turned around and was like, yeah, so you see this little hole here? And Joel was like, wait, what hole? And the guy clipped through half of the game. And that was like a 2-hour time save from like actually playing the game. Joel went nuts. He's like, oh wait, yeah, that little hole there that nobody saw in the entirety of the game was just found in a speed run. And
do you see that hole there? No, we don't see that hole.
No, we don't. What does it do? Oh, skip half the game? All right.
What console was this for?
Pretty sure it was the N64.
Oh, okay.
But, bro, the little things that they find, the little clips that they find is disgusting.
So you never played Wind Waker?
No. I want to go play it, but at the same time, I don't think I'll do it justice. Given that I never played it before, I don't want to butcher the game.
And if it's not during your youth, it's going to mean a lot less to you. But that game was kind of the tail end of me playing video games for a while. When I went to college, I never got too into Wind Waker. But the two before that, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, they were just nerd chills. They were so good.
Yeah, I still turn on my 64 every once in a while, and I can play some games on there and go back to the childhood. Pretty nice.
I made some mistakes trading in my 64 and games to GameStop. I did the stereotypical thing you should never do.
Yeah, get rid of stuff.
Yeah, I traded all the best games away for like $120 of store credit or something. And then I got ripped off for like a couple GameCube games that sucked. Like one of them was Def Jam Vendetta. I remember it turned out to be the biggest steaming pile of dog shit in the world.
No, come on. The Italian Job? Dude, I bought that game for like $40. Well, my dad bought it for me for $40. That game was terrible. I regret every day playing that game.
Oh no! Oh yeah, man. They make a lot of steaming piles of dog shit with all these consoles. You never know what you're gonna get.
That's why we turn to MMOs or just PC games in general.
Yeah. Have I ranted to you about Final Fantasy 14 yet?
Yeah, I've heard so many good things and so many bad things, but I think the bad things always outweigh the good things right now.
Yeah, they give you a free trial until you reach level 35 or so. I'm not sure I'm going to even be able to make it to the end of the free trial. There's too many fetch quests.
Yeah, I know. I don't remember what Final Fantasy I got, but Kevin, Jess's brother, gave me a copy, one of his keys, and I think I got to level 12, and I just stopped because I can't get into Final Fantasy games. I don't know why.
They have their moments, but to make it an MMO that you need to subscribe to and then have it not be any different than every other classic quote unquote MMO, it just doesn't do it, man.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
All right, so what else was I going to ask you? I guess you don't really go on crazy tangents or anything on your stream or your YouTube channel, right? You just keep it pretty much Blade and Soul and light. Yeah,
Blade and Soul, life. Basic life stuff.
Really? You talk about basic life stuff?
Yeah, why not, man? If somebody asks me a question, try and get into a little bit of detail in real life of what I do. But
that's great. I love the idea of the 16 and 17-year-old Blade and Soul people asking the OCD, just what do you think about this, man?
What's going on? Like, I'll show them. Like I said, I had that Discord for all my subs. And if they have a question, they either PM me it or we'll just talk in Gen Chat about stuff. Because it's a game, so why think of it as real life in game? Just hey, if you need some help, let me know, man.
You're the big brother I never had. That perspective on working, though, nothing like grinding away for years and years on the job site to lend some perspective to help out the new young people.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't want anybody falling into a hole and like they can't get out.
My job has been a grind, man. I haven't been around as much because just grinding 5 days a week, I don't feel like doing too much or anything like that. Afterwards, I don't feel like being too social, or even sometimes I don't have the energy to play games at all.
Speaking of playing games, I'm trying to while we're talking, I'm trying to solo the one of the end game bosses, and I almost had him, but I died because I wasn't paying full attention to it. But it happens.
The BNS endgame boss?
Yeah. You're not.
I remember. I don't remember actually what the endgame bosses were. I remember the pirate people
Oh, that's so far gone.
The cold storage or something. At least they're releasing new content. Yeah, that's good.
Like right now, this thing is basically for the legendary necklace, which I already have on 3 characters, but I just wanted to solo it because why not? But it is a good DPS test. Test how you can play the game while tanking, and normally what I do.
Is it possible to reach endgame gear without like throwing money at the game? Like you get legendary earrings or something, and that's the best item you can get for now?
150% yes.
You don't. And then after that, you're just grinding what, Hong Moon levels?
Yeah. Basically, right now I'm Hong Moon 14, so anything that I do levels that up. Right now the cap is 20. But if you start playing now, if you played as much as you played Vindy, you could probably get to end the content within a week. And then after that, it's basically come with us onto runs. You get everything for free. And it's pay to progress. So if you don't want to put in the time, that's when you swipe. So if you don't mind grinding stuff like I've been doing on my Blade Master, I haven't swiped since my 24-hour stream, actually.
There's a possibility I could try it again when the Gunmaster comes out, if it's awesome.
Yeah. If Gunner comes out, I'm pretty sure it'll hook you into something. It's really good at PvP, it's really good at PvE, so you'll probably be into it.
Speaking of new content, did you see that level 95 is coming out soon in Vindy?
Yep, on Wednesday. I don't know if I'm even gonna try and log in. I missed the title,
man.
So
it's just not what it used to be. Like wanting to grind and get to the next thing is not what it used to be at all in that game.
Not at all, dude. Like I logged in for a little bit to try and get a title, and then I just couldn't push myself to get the title.
Oh, the butterfly deal. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Wings. I just couldn't log in every day and do 10 things. Like that's not a lot. It's not at all, but I just couldn't push myself to do half an hour worth of work.
So that's what I'm looking for. We need a new MMO to capture our imagination that in the same way that Vindy used to, and I've just not been able to come up with anything like that. FF14 is definitely not that.
Yeah, not for us. Trust me, FF14 was nothing for us.
Yeah, I feel bad because I turned on some friends to it, but I'm really going to have trouble getting into it to the grindy type of deal.
I saw a lot of... You have that FF14 text channel here that I've seen.
Yeah, some of the guys are into it, and Pete and Paul, I guess I should use some of their gaming tags, but Iggy CRCTL does not roll off the tongue very well.
Yeah, it happens. Don't worry about it.
I
think your viewers will get them.
He needs a gamer tag that can roll off the tongue a little bit easier. I'll get on him about that.
Nice. Yeah, hey. We'll find something that we can all basically get together again. But yeah, that FF14, I was gonna say we should try it all together, but same thing with Rev Online. It was a fad for me. Like I did it for 2 weeks and then couldn't get into it. So
oh, look at this one that Math just linked, Albion Online. Did you watch the video for that?
No, brand new sandbox MMO.
I can't believe he linked that. That looks really cheesy in the well, no, sorry. It looks OCD, what do you think of the video?
That I don't know. I haven't watched it.
When you get a second, you should take a peek and see if that piques your interest.
I will.
I'm into this. It really upsells the value of grinding resources and how that is going to contribute to your guild. Like mining and harvesting hides being valuable resources throughout the region, shipping them back to the cities, creating weapons that are in short supply. It really expounds the value of those sorts of things in the game.
See, I know, like, for us, it would be pretty cool to get into a game together, but it's kind of bringing in everybody else, because that was the big part of the beans. Like, we all had the game. and we all had fun with that. But to get us all back together, it's going to be pretty hard. Because I know a lot of people still do the Vindy thing, and yeah, sorry about that. What was I on about? Yeah, getting people together in the games is just going to be pretty hard. Everybody has different tastes. Right now, people, Blade and Soul is big. Vindy is still big with a couple people. I know that. You're more into the old school games now. I could see you still playing RuneScape.
Nah, Ultima Online all the way. That was the first MMO. Well, one of them. I guess RuneScape might have been first, but Ultima Online is still fantastic. There's a lot of good features there, especially on this server we're playing on.
Yeah, and I know people still play League. A lot of people play Overwatch. So it's trying to be a melting pot for different gamers. So,
did you see that awesome video I linked in the Cool Beans chat about the live stream Twitch fails?
Which I watch them every day.
It was a lot of them was the pro events. Some of it was League, I think. A lot of it was from League pro events.
Yeah, they're pretty dumb there.
That was so funny. Like
Yeah,
they're trying to be
cringy.
professional with the broadcasting of it, but it's hard for them to have professional broadcasters in the professional esports industry. It's just they're not a match made in heaven.
Well, most of them now are the old school pros. So the people that have played that game before for a long time, so they know what they're talking about. But sometimes it just doesn't go hand in hand. Because
right, think what kind of person it takes to be a professional League of Legends player. You're not going to be an outgoing TV type of personality. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, some people it does, but a lot of them have been streaming on Twitch for years, and that's the reason why they're good at it. Is because they can sit in front of a camera for hours on end, playing a video game, and talking to their viewers. So
yeah, I guess that is broadcasting experience, huh?
yeah, for a little bit, but on like a big screen in front of thousands of people, a lot of streamers right now don't get too many viewers, but.
Does that get you excited? The thought of that gets me excited, of being a professional gamer and doing Adderall and seeing how many actions per second you can execute and being part of a team and being at the top of whatever esport that you're a part of. The thought of that makes me excited. It
does. And Blade and Soul is pretty nice because there's the PvP aspect, there's the PvE aspect, there's rankings every week that you can get. So it's kind of a very competitive game in a sense, but at the same time, I can't do it because I can't put the hours into it that most other people can.
And that's the thing. You have to pick your shots, too. If you put every waking hour into Blade and Soul and there stops being a following at all, you're completely out.
Yeah. Well, that's what they did this little event that they had before, like a couple weeks ago. Or no, this week it ended. Where they raised money to go to Worlds against Korea and stuff like that, which is pretty fun in a sense.
Blade and Soul people went to Worlds to play competitively in Korea?
We will be. I think they said since we did get close to the 400K that we needed to raise, that they're going to try and get us into the Korean tournament. But I don't really PvP much, so I wouldn't be of any use for them.
Do you have was it the people who are going to Worlds? Are they a team? Do they all know each other, or it's just going to be top ranked American players without affiliation?
They're pretty much all top ranks, but
so you could have thrown your hat in the ring if you wanted, if you were good enough.
Yeah, if I was good enough, but I'm not too good at PvP, and I wouldn't be able to beat any Koreans at this game because I'm not that good. Right.
Well, what's the deal though? I'm assuming the Korean server, their patch level or they're playing.
Oh, they're way far ahead of us, but that's why NA is trying to get to their patch sooner rather than later to actually get to Worlds. So
yeah, how could Worlds be competitive if all the people who are non-Koreans are left behind?
In the next couple months, they're gonna try and catch us up. So I don't want to say that Gunner's coming out soon, TM, but the way it looks is they're trying to get it out soon, TM. So I just think that it's going to break the game, bringing out content this quick, because every new player might get left behind a little bit. Not saying they will, but the newer content is very veteran player built. So people who have the end game gear right now will be progressing quicker than the people who are just starting now.
They're better to have more content than less, though.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because people will always do that content. Like the content that just came out a couple months ago. People are still doing it every week because it's something to upgrade.
I guess you need a good mix too. It has to keep you strung along when you're playing new, but it also has to be able to be engaging when you're a veteran and you've been doing it forever, ever.
Yeah, Vindy did that for us. Like they kept new content coming out, but they kept upping the low bar for the people.
It is super easy mode right now. I feel a little bit concerned about how easy it is for people. Like Harriman Twin Spears should not be dropping every time for my set.
Yep. That's one of the reasons why I decided not to log back in, because my free storage chest went from being empty to having like 10 Thunderings from Kraken and a Peridot belt and CMAs and ODMs just dropping from all the Season 2 raids that we used to do. I remember grinding hours, days, weeks for my belt. And to get it from one iSet run or one Havan run, that was a kick in the nads if I do say so myself.
Yeah, that should not be a thing. We used to raid night after night after night for hours to try to get one piece of a fragment to make one weapon to blow it up.
Now you pay 50 mil, which is apparently a lot of money now. But 50 mil to get a level 90 weapon that's all gold, that hurts a little bit.
Well, that's quite a bit of money. Remember our plus 1290 that we sold for 200 mil?
Yeah, it's still 200 mil. That's 4 level 90 weapons that are fully maxed.
But to try to get to plus 16, it'll just never happen.
Yeah. 116 the entire time.
So now there's a huge disconnect between getting to the end game gear and just having mediocre gear.
Yeah, it's huge.
So the perfect MMO has to be properly instance-based, where you can get to bosses and you can get to fights quick enough without wandering a huge empty world. Final Fantasy XIV is doing that for me. Lots of meaningless quests, lots of fetch quests. Go pick 3 mushrooms and deliver them back to this guy. Then go to this city that you have no connection with and you've never heard of, and wander through these maps that have no meaning emotionally or connection to the game, it seems. You just wander back and forth with no fights. And when you do fight, it kind of sucks because the combat's like World of Warcraft.
There's nothing too wrong with World of Warcraft. It's an acquired taste.
My favorite part of World of Warcraft was when there was a video of a guy whose girlfriend deleted his character, and he had been spending, I don't know, a million bazillion hours on it, and he just freaks out. Yeah,
I wouldn't be able to take that. If anybody deleted like my Vindy account, even though I don't play it, I would be devastated.
Yeah, but imagine when you were in your prime of Indy, and then if all of a sudden OCDenhanced the Karak got deleted, like it's a monumental freak out.
That's like the same as saying that someone's gonna log into my account and just hit the sort all button. That's just no.
It's not as bad as you think, dude.
It's bad. I had every box filled. Everything had a spot. There was a spot for everything. Like that would have been the worst for me.
Yeah, I could see you being slightly OCD about how your inventory is sorted.
All right, good news.
I didn't give too much of a shit. Just let the weapons and armor be where I can find them. All the junk mats dropping somewhere near the bottom of the inventory. That's fine.
I needed all the junk mats in the first box, all of my armor in the third and second to last.
What?
Yeah. My last box is all like event items or expired items. Yeah, I had a big thing with that. There was a whole box dedicated to all the season 3 mats. Every little gem that you got, I had in my inventory. Yeah, I got really, and same thing with the Blade and Soul. All of my slots are filled. Everything has a spot. There's a spot for everything. I know where everything is. If it's on my main character, if it's on my side character, I know where it is.
That's part of the appeal of MMOs, though. Everyone can set their stuff out the way they like it, and every player can be different. Yep, I get that.
And that's what I try and teach people on my channel. If someone comes up to me and is like, "Yeah, so what should I play? Should I play this class or that class?" Play them both. Try him out. If you don't like it, keep him. If he's level 50, you can farm some stuff on him. If you max out his level, you can farm stuff on him. You can get gold on him. If you don't like him, keep him. There's always another way to get another character slot. It's only right now like 60 gold. If you sell 60 gold, you can get another character slot. 60 gold is 2 days of dailies, if that. If you farm a lot, that's not even a day. That's maybe an hour. An hour worth of farming, you have 60 gold. And that's another character slot. So there's no real point in killing a character. Remember how we used to enhance their weapons, and if it didn't work, it was basically, alright, this character's done, bye.
No, man, part of the appeal was if you boom your weapon, the climb back up to the top was the challenge. That kept me coming back.
That's what happened to my Herc. Remember my first Herc?
I don't ever feel like you were all in, though. I feel like the dedication wasn't there the same way it was with your Karok.
Oh, no, not at all. My Karok and Destroyer will always come first regardless, but once I started that Herc, I really wanted to play with you as a Herc. But once they turned around and was like, yeah, so here's a free level 80 character, I couldn't say no to starting a new Herc and killing that one on my main account. And then my main account one almost had a 15, so.
I remember when you switched it out, yeah.
He's still there, chilling, with a 13 Rattler.
But it's already, you can't even enhance 80s anymore. That is so dumb.
Can't even enhance it, yeah. I would love to enhance all the weapons that I have. Well, that had. Just to kill them.
Just speaking of MMOs, I hope whatever really strikes our imagination next is something that gets played competitively and is a legitimate esport. Because I would love to have been a fanboy for League of Legends or a game like that, where the top people you could watch at the big esport events.
Well, Blade and Soul does have that. Like, there are people in Korea that go hardcore in this game.
But see, there needs to be the U.S. fan base too. I want the celebrities to be U.S. based, to where we know where they are, or who they are rather.
Yeah,
How cool would that be? Like, if I could watch that like football and have that be my nerd out sport.
And just I know what you mean.
Because I never could get my dick fully hard for baseball or football or basketball, but for an esport that I could dabble in a little bit, I could probably get all the way on board with that.
I mean, I don't know what the next one, but the thing is, they all have to start in Korea, because once it gets big in Korea, that's when it starts moving to NA. There's not really that many good North American games that have stuck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, why do Korean games have to be the big esports? Is it just because Koreans are more avid gamers than Americans?
They're okay with pay to play. So Blade and Soul started as a subscription game where you had to play to pay the game. Had to pay to play the game. Sorry. And once it moved over to NA changed it to, hey, you know what? You don't have to pay to play, but we're going to make it really hard for you guys. And they upped all the costs to upgrade weapons, all of the XP needed to gain levels. So in NA, to get to the final level, it takes around 1.9 billion XP. That's billion. Like, that's a lot of XP when you're getting 1,000 XP per mob, or 100k XP for a single battle that you can do. That's a lot of XP.
Do they still use the pay-to-win model in Korea, or is it different?
No, it's different now. Over there, it's free to play, but again, pay to progress. So they'll come out with events where if you swipe and you put $70 into the game right now, you get 100 keys that open up Trove, which is 6 random items or 8 random items that are pulled from a list, and you have a chance of getting super rare items or materials that you need, all the way to the newest content, like one patch before the newest content items, for fairly cheap. So if you have the gold and you have $70, you can make bank and progress in the game a lot quicker than normal.
But wait, are you telling me that League of Legends is a Korean game originally?
I'm pretty sure League started in Korea.
Well, I know StarCraft did not start in Korea, and that was an esport that the Koreans got big into.
I think the other big one, Dota, I'm pretty sure started there.
Yeah, it very well might have. Yeah, I never got into Dota, but it's a similar thing, overhead sort of strategy combat, isn't it?
I never got into that either. Like, the strategy game sometimes is a little much for me. I like playing a game, not restarting the entire thing just to start a new game.
Exactly. Yeah, that's part of the problem with those strategy games. It breaks my heart to build up all your civilization, your army's looking amazing, you're ready to crush the enemy. You finish the game and then you have to start all over from nothing. That just gets so repetitive and heartbreaking.
Same, dude. Like League, I kind of tried to get into League at that one point in my life, but just getting to max level, destroying people in the game, and then either winning or losing hurt even more. But then to start up a new game at level 1 and having to change up your entire strategy because a new team, I didn't like that much.
Was it possible to team up with your friends and be like, if you and me, how many people were on a team in League at the same
5.
time? I don't know anything about the game.
5.
So would it be possible if it was like you, me, Math, Ben, and whatever, Frigid? Would it be possible for us to team up and be on the same team every single game?
Yeah, but the thing is, you'd still need to basically strategize against the other team, because the other team will never always be the same, and they'll always choose different champions. And not saying that's not bad. Like, it's fun. It's a fun concept. It just wasn't for me. Learning every single champion, which I think there's now over like 150, and how to react to them. Yeah, there's a ridiculous amount of champions, and they come out with new ones, I think, every month.
I like the idea of that. It's not that we would do it, but I like the idea of having, we're team such and so, and we're all really good at our roles, and we all snort Adderall and work on our strats all night long. I like the idea of it. In practice, it's really hard to make it happen. But doing that and then getting some recognition for it, how cool would that be?
Oh, it would be amazing if it was 5 of us. Dude, all the esport teams right now are like, I was about to say level 16 to 18. They're about 16 to 18 years old, maybe a little bit more. Maybe like 21 would be like the cap for their age.
They're level 16 chumps.
Yeah, but to see a team that's what, like the average age being 24, 25, bro, it's nuts.
Bordering on old creepy men. Yep, yeah. I would love. I have a youthful appearance going for me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, we go out and with like some walkers, some typical old people swag.
That's right. Yeah, suspenders and walkers.
Yeah.
And with our fake teeth and hearing aids, and we're ready to kick the hell out of some of these whippersnappers.
Yeah, that would be pretty fun, but
I love the idea of that, man. But I think you're like me, where we have a passing interest in a lot of things and not necessarily 100% dedicated to any one thing in life.
No, not at all. Like,
passing interest in video games, passing interest in cars, passing interest in sports, passing interest in this game, that game, the other game.
I think you might have liked MXM, but it was just like a like it was passing. It was just something that we could have done for a little bit, because I don't know if that would have become big. And it was something like an MMO, like it was like an MMO plus League of Legends plus a shooter. You know what I mean? It was pretty legit for a little bit, and then it just kind of got boring after a couple minutes.
MXM, did I ever even look at it?
It was another NCSoft game, so it was something made by Blade and Soul creators. But if you take a look at it, it is free, so that was the best part going for it, for me, in all honesty, was that it was free, and it was giving out some content for Blade and Soul for in-game stuff. If you completed a little bit of a couple of achievements, I think all you had to do was play like 5 games, and you got an outfit in Blade and Soul. So.
Choose your masters. I'm watching the trailer right now.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. The first 2 people you get is an assassin and a gunner, and you can probably play the entire game with those 2, unless you want to branch out to newer champions or newer heroes. Sorry, and it's fun because it's not, you don't have to go buy 5 items to try and be broken. All you have to do is play the objectives and you win, or get kills and you'll win. So it goes hand in hand with League of Legends, because League, you basically play the objectives and you could probably destroy people, or if you just ignored the objectives, the death timers would be too high and you could just win that way with just pure brute strength.
Why do video game trailers never show the actual gameplay?
If you want, you could probably just look up like a stream of it and watch it for like 10 minutes. You'll probably get the gist of it.
Oh yeah, here we go. The trailer for the game had nothing at all to do with what it actually is. It was showing HD, like, glamour shots of the heroes rather than what the actual game would be like. And I also noticed that they showed Poe from Blade and Soul. Yeah.
They got Poe in there. They got Jin Se-yeon.
Oh yeah, yep, saw her too.
It's an NCSoft game, so it's basically all of their characters in one. I think with new characters as well from different games, and some from just MXM.
Well, how do you feel about first-person shooters?
I don't mind them.
Because
I started out as a COD gamer, so.
Well, I have a half a mind to try out Destiny 2 when that comes out. That might be interesting.
I do too, in all honesty, because Annie turned me to it, and I watched a couple of videos. It does look cool,
but that whole console thing, console not master race.
I know. Destiny 2 comes out on PC as well, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Like, that would be pretty fun. But again, getting into competitive with that is kind of broken.
Yeah, the FPS players who take it serious are the real deal. They don't mess around. Not
at all, dude. I remember my COD days. Like, I would get really into it, and if something didn't go my way, I would get very ticked off, for a lack of a better word.
Well, I really like the idea of getting competitively into something, but it would be awesome if it was something that had an audience too. Because so even if we didn't make it to being nearly competitive at all, to be able to watch the competitive esport events would be really right up my alley compared to watching football.
That's the thing with PUBG right now. PlayerUnknown Battleground. That's a pretty big game, and it's basically you get dropped off in a town, and you have to fight your way to get newer gear, better guns, and it's a battle to the death. It's like Hunger Games, but with 100 people.
So Lucky Fire tried to turn me on to this the other day, and I just didn't know if it was going to be amazing enough to shell out the initial cost of entry.
Yeah, that's the only bad part. Like, I'm not about to spend X amount of money to play with just math. Like, if it was a couple of people that we kind of got together and was like, yeah, you know what, we're going to play this. Like, we're going to play at least 1 or 2 matches a day, and have fun with it. Like, I would do that.
Did you ever hear of The Forest? It's a game on Steam.
The Forest? No, I did not.
Similar sort of concept. I think this PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is done significantly better, but The Forest was like a survival horror game with that sort of feel where you're dumped out in the woods and you have to build everything from scratch and survive that way, and there's different little dungeons that you go through. It was kind of fun. I played it with some of the guys from Ultima.
There's a bunch of games like that. I think H1Z1 had it as well, where you basically got dumped off into a place. There's one where you get dumped off as a naked dude or a naked chick, and you have to survive. And that was pretty good. I just don't remember the name of that one. You got dumped off, and your dick was just flopping around.
What if I don't identify as a naked dude or a naked chick?
Then I think you get spawned in as an elephant.
Yeah, I identify as a naked elephant, not a normal sex.
But it's that kind of drew me into the stuff too, because it would be pretty cool, like getting dumped off with me, you, Math, in PUBG, and having us work together. Because I know I'd protect you, and I know you guys would protect me.
Aw, you mean it?
Yeah, it'd be pretty fun.
Well, I don't know. I'll think about it. But again, this game looks as if you start from nothing.
PUBG or MXM?
PUBG looks as if you start from nothing. MXM, I can't tell what's going on with that. It seems like it's capitalizing on fads that have already come and gone. The League of Legends sort of thing.
It is based off of League of Legends, but at the same time they throw their own twist into it with the whole. You don't need to buy stuff. You just upgrade your stats per level. And the other thing is, it has in all honesty, I don't mind the PvE aspect of the game either. Going in with 2 characters that you can switch between, and a group of up to 4 people. It does seem very competitive at the end of it, but PvE wise, not PvP wise.
To be clear, I shouldn't bash things that have been developed previously, because FPS games are nothing new, overhead games are nothing new. There's going to be no new concepts under the sun. But one of the things that appeals about Destiny 2 is that in the first Destiny, you had a class, right? And you're getting experience, you're leveling up that character, and you're getting gear for them, and your outfit was customizable, so it had the whole aesthetic thing going for it, which was nice. Yeah,
I gotcha. I understand. I've watched a couple Destiny streams, and not the the dude Destiny, but Destiny.
It was great being over at my friend's house and watching him get into it and get excited over the rare drops and get all upset with his pugs that you have to get paired with for certain. Some of the missions were like raid type deals, and you had to just RNG some random people.
Yeah, I've heard Annie say stuff about that, and also James, friend of mine, plays as well, talking about how annoying it is getting into groups that have no idea what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, like he called it gathering retards or something. On the actual screen, it said gathering a party or something like that. But in reality, it's gathering retards.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's bad in every game, dude. You can't say it's just bad in one or 2 games. It's bad in every single one. If you have to play with people from the internet, you're always guaranteed to get at least 1 or 2 bad eggs.
Yeah, it's very seldom that you're going to be paired with someone who's on the same page as you, like in terms of skill and personality. But that's why it was awesome running into cool people on Vindy.
Yeah, because people knew how to play, and if you could get past the egotistical maniac, then you could probably get a couple good friends.
The egotistical maniacs made it interesting though too. Everyone's clash of EPing was great.
Like, you play the wrong way. No, you play the wrong way. Like, who cares? It's a game. Like, I've come to terms with that in Blade and Soul. Play however the hell you want to play.
I remember Gus being really turned off at the salt that appeared in the megaphones, but I love the salt. The fact that people were all engaged and pissed off made it all the better for me.
Oh my god, in this game, it's all faction. Like, if you choose the blue faction, there's going to be consistent shitposting in the chat.
I think I'm
and it's
stupid,
all
though.
chat.
Like I couldn't follow the shit talking that was going on. It was too much lingo.
Yeah, it takes some time to get used to. I just throw in my little shit every once in a while, because why not? Someone says, "Oh, OCD, hey, how are you doing? I watch your videos." It's like, all right, thank you, dude. Gives them a chance to actually talk to me instead of just watch my videos.
Instead of just shit post continually, which is what I get the feeling faction chat is.
Some people get battles together. That's pretty nice, but there's a lot of people that just
being a minor esports celebrity, now that's the kind of shit I do like. You sure are distinctive. I mean, there's no mistaking you.
No, not at all, dude. If I join a lobby, people will know who I am instantly. Like they'll know who I am. If they already don't like me, they'll kick me from the party. If they like me, I'll stay and get a hello or a hey.
Do you ever do anything that gets people salty at you, or is it just that former guild that you had?
The former guild. I don't think the former guild gives any shites about me, but the guys that I called out for calling me uninformed have shut up. Other than the main dude talking about me on his stream every once in a while, that I've heard from a clan member of mine. So like apparently almost every stream he'll try and toss a little jab at me, but I really don't care anymore. It's over. It's drama that I don't want or need. I play the game one way. I think the game is going to take the turn in my favor down the future. So why not play the same way? Even though it's not the meta, I was never one for playing the meta characters. Like also, in Vindy.
It's hard to believe that there's that many people on Blade and Soul with huge egos who just think they're the cat's meow. Are there really tons of huge personalities on there?
Yeah, there's a couple personalities, but like I said, people play the way that they want to, and if other people don't like it, they'll talk shit about them.
Such is life, dude. Such is life.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, especially in life, dude. You don't do something the way somebody tells you, you get shit talked for the rest of your life.
What's your opinion on that? There's some quote to the effect of "You're not doing it right unless you have some haters." What do you think about that?
It's true. Like when Chester passed away, dude, I literally for the entirety of that video off camera, because I can't play copyright music, I was listening to Linkin Park. I put in my title, hey, what is your guys' favorite Linkin Park song? That's fine. That was all I did. What was your favorite Linkin Park song? And I woke up in the middle of the night to change my YouTube video because I don't sleep with like complete quiet and darkness. And I saw that I had a YouTube comment. So I clicked on it and I was like, all right, what was this? On the new video, someone's like, oh, what a dick. Why did you use clickbait with Chester's death? I was like, I literally just asked what your favorite song was. I didn't mean for that to be clickbait. I'm sorry, dude. Like, I was listening to him for the entire day. I was listening to it while I was editing it. I'm sorry. I just wanted to know people's Linkin Park songs, and that guy, I'm pretty sure, unsubscribed because I asked what your favorite Linkin Park song was. There's always going to be haters.
Yeah, that's a really strange reason to get bent out of shape. I think it was fitting, given the current events, that you've asked that.
And I put it in the video where I tabbed out to see what Jess messaged me, and it just hit home. I was like, oh, that could happen any day to anybody that you know, and you don't know it because you either, one, have no contact with them or no way to contact them, or the other way is just it could be in your neighborhood. Like, someone could just take their own life because something happened.
I found out more about Chester Bennington in the last few days than I knew about him in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
It turns out that he has, I think, 6 kids and something like 2 ex-wives and a former girlfriend or something like that. 2
wives, 6 kids. And I really, like, the reason why the worst reason what I can think of for him to actually do that is that one of his friends, I think that was the day of his birthday, if he didn't actually hang himself in May, I think it was.
You're talking about Chris Cornell, right?
Yeah, I really hope he didn't do it for a friend. Like that's never a reason to take your own life. Like I know it could be hard and stuff like that, but dude, there's no real reason to take your life ever. But if you're doing it for somebody that's already passed, that's not. There's places to go other than that. You can.
Well, I also like, on a side note, I like how you brought up Chris Cornell like he's somebody unknown that we would not have heard of him.
Oh well, I don't know, man.
His friend, it would have been his friend's birthday. You mean Chris Cornell? Oh yeah, that guy. We've never heard of him.
I don't know, man. I'd rather keep names out of it, but you know.
Yeah, I don't know if it's rude or not, but it's current events. It's topical.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I don't want to keep it going because bringing up, hey, what was your Linkin Park song? Like your favorite Linkin Park song? That gave me somebody who didn't like my video. Like what? All I asked was to remember him. Like there was.
But that's what I want to do on the podcast. I want to talk about things like this that get us thinking about deep subjects. And another reason why I looked at Chester Bennington's background was I was curious what his net worth was. And it's the estimates I found have him between 25 and 30 mil were his net worth before he killed himself.
Yeah, dude, he did a lot of music, man, like a lot. And
he was a fantastic performer. I've been watching some of the YouTube performances too, and the lyrics of Linkin Park are undoubtedly trite. There are songs that rhyme, "I want to heal" and "I want to feel what I thought was never real." I mean, that's pretty low hanging fruit. But the performances were great, I have to say, and his singing was great. And there's one song. Have you seen the live performance of "Given Up"? I think is the name of the song.
I haven't seen the live one, but like I said, I've been listening to it. I've been listening to Linkin Park for the past like 3 days straight.
That song "Given Up," if you know the one I'm talking about, there's a live performance where he just nails it. There's really high notes in the choruses when "I've given up," he hits that really high note, and then there's a big scream in there. And he just does that fantastically live as well. So he was just a great performer, and the entire band was really tight.
Yeah, that's the bad thing. Like all of his friends, like think about like if you're in that situation, just think about your kids. If you have 6 kids and they pretty much look up to you 100% of the time because you're what's it called? You're a rock star. That's their life was in your hands.
Yeah, it was pretty shitty. A lot of people are let down, not just the fans, but his bandmates they're all without their lead singer now, and his entire family, all of his 6 kids are without him. So I just have that instinct too. It's sort of a coming from a poor background or at least middle class background. I have that inclination to say, man, if you have millions and millions of dollars, there's no fucking reason for you to be that unhappy. Granted, money doesn't actually make you happy, but I just have that little instinct in the back of my head. Like my first thought is, boy, I could be happy for 30 million.
Exactly. But you always know there's something underlying, and like I think they said. Drinking problem. I don't know if they said drugs, but
apparently he was sexually abused as a kid by a man or something. Yeah,
and it's just I don't wish that upon anybody, nor hope that ever happens to anybody. But like there comes a time where you have to sit down and you have to talk to somebody and you have to let it off your chest. And hey, if anybody PMs me on Discord, which I have had, and they come to me with a problem, dude, I'm sitting here. I will not move until I either make you 1 smile or 2 realize that there's something out there that you should do other than like take your own life. Like if I could have sat down with Chester and just bullshitted with him for 6 hours knowing that it would save his life, 100% would have knocked on his door and like brought a couple of high C's over and had a couple laughs just with a stranger.
High C, do they come in the same kind of container as Capri Suns, or are they actually in a box?
I think they're the box. Like the little, they're like, it's like a saran wrapped 10-pack or 8-pack, and it just comes in boxes.
Oh yeah.
Just sit down, have some shits, have some giggles.
It's hard to think that you showing up with an 8-pack of High Seas wouldn't have been enough, but we'll never know, unfortunately.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like on Discord, that's it. Like Discord's perfect. If anybody wants to like PM you on Discord just to like get some shit off your chest, I don't know these people. They're subscribed. They're a number on my YouTube channel. If they want to become more than a number on my YouTube channel and they want to sit down and talk to me, I will do that 100%. If I can make somebody smile, if I can make somebody's day, if I can make somebody realize that there's something out there, trust me, I've been to that place every once in a while. A couple months ago, as recent as a couple months ago, where I didn't feel like continuing. But like you gotta sit down and realize, Simply is there. You're here. I have 40 people on our Discord that I could sit down and talk to every single day, regardless of what time it is, because they're probably there. I have 1,500 people on YouTube that would wonder where I went if I just stopped it. If I just stopped YouTube, they'd be concerned on what happened. Like there's something out there for you that is there. Like for Chester, there's first thing that I can think of is 6 kids. Like I wouldn't want to waste that, but you never know what was going on in his mind.
And that amount of fame has to be isolating in a way. Although he had his bandmates, there were people close to him. It's not like he was completely lonely at the top, like Mr. Burns or something.
Yeah.
There has to be that sort of lonely at the top kind of feeling, and he just lost one of his good friends was Chris Cornell. They understood each other probably the way a lot of people don't, given that was their profession, was to be singers. And it turns out Chester was actually the godfather, I guess that's the right term, for one of Chris Cornell's kids, so they were really close.
Yeah, see, that's the worst, man.
Yeah, but when you think about the subject matter that Linkin Park sang about, a lot of it was really deep and
really dark,
suicidal type deal. Crawling in my skin, these wounds they will not heal. And
there was an old song, and I don't remember the name of it, but I kind of like stopped myself from singing it on stream because it actually related to him hanging himself. And I don't remember what song it was, but bro, it hit hard.
Yeah, there's lots of escapism, and I want to be done with this life, and I'm not meant for this, and I'm too depressed type of deal in those lyrics. And yeah, a lot of it was sang in a pretty emo kind of way. So it's clear that you're dealing with some issues if you're going to write those kind of lyrics and have those kinds of songs. That being said, their stuff was really good, and I wonder if they're just going to be done for good now. I think Mike Shinoda didn't even have an official statement from the band at that point. It was just on his Twitter. It says, shocked and saddened, but it's unfortunately true. We'll give you a statement when we have one.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really do much. They can't give them like a day to make a statement. Like you gotta sit down and realize what happened. That doesn't take a day.
That's a big band too, so the business interests are going to have a say in what goes on. I wonder how much the record label actually has influence over that too. I wonder if the record label can force them to do X, Y, or Z. Along those same lines, there's a karaoke bar in town that I've made myself a regular at.
Ooh.
And one of the girls who runs it, her dad passed away. And I've been really tempted for a long time to sing Welcome to the Black Parade, just because it's a really hard song to sing. And I've been a little bit hesitant, not that anyone would be paying attention 100%. Sometimes when you're up there, it feels like no one's even paying attention. But it just in case all eyes were on me, the lyrics involve, the person's father taking them into the city and talking about this introspective stuff. And then the choruses talk about their dad being dead and gone. So I'm like, yeah, kind of feels insensitive.
Yeah. Well, some people might take that as a compliment, or like trying to help them get over the stuff.
Yeah,
So you
it
never
just
know.
seems like when people are going through loss, just rehashing memories of it, or even talking about it, unless it's solicited by them, kind of feels insensitive, or like you could trigger them to
Yeah.
not to steal that word.
No, it was pretty bad, man. Like I remember when my nonno passed away, and anytime someone talks about death or anything, it kind of just it hits you hard.
Yeah, you have to tiptoe around unpleasant subjects, like in my line of work as well. Lots of people are dying or going through cancer or things like that. So you have to be careful about actually pissing people off with what you bring up.
And sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's easy for people, but you never really can get used to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you don't make any friends by constantly bringing up shit that gets people upset, which is kind of the reason you can't really win when you talk about politics with people. But it's such a guilty pleasure, OCD. I love talking about politics, just so long as it doesn't get everyone all pissed off.
I can't do it ever. I'm not one to talk about politics. It sucks.
You don't have a passing interest in it, or you just don't like talking about it?
I don't like talking about it. I don't like being involved in it. It's a big argument, regardless of who you're talking to. No matter who, what, when, why, where, it will always turn into an argument. And I'm not that type of person.
Yeah, it is important to keep things in perspective. Our lives were very similar under Bill Clinton, as they were under George W. Bush, as they were under Obama, as they are under Trump. Your day-to-day life is not that different, and it's important to keep that in perspective.
Yeah, but some people will take that to the extreme, and other people will just sit back and be like, "Oh yeah, well, okay, whatever." And those people never mend, and I'm one of those people that'll just be like, "Yeah, well, he's my president," but like I don't agree with 99% of what he says or what he does, and it just happened. But now it's starting to look like the presidential campaign is just going to be a bunch of celebrities trying to get into the White House.
It very well might be. We're getting into interesting territory here. Did you know Kid Rock is considering a run for Senate in Michigan?
Did you know that the Rock is actually, like, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is actually serious about running for president next in 2020?
Actual president? I thought he was a Canadian.
No. He's actually going to try and go for president of the United States.
I'd be glad to see it. Bust out the popcorn. The more extreme, the more crazy things get, the more I like to sit back and watch.
I know you don't watch too much wrestling. Do you know? You remember Kane, the dude with the big red mask?
I have access to Google.
Yeah. If you look up Kane, he's I think he's running for mayor in a town, and that's news for a lot of people. Because
there he is with his red mask. He looks a little bit like something out of Slipknot.
Yeah, pro wrestler turned mayor. It's weird.
It's not completely unprecedented. No. Jesse Ventura was the governor of Minnesota.
Yep. It's crazy what people can do.
I mean, not all celebrities are stupid either. You get to where you're at sometimes as a result of being lucky, clever, but a lot of celebrities have to work hard. I think we diminish them. We just think that they got there because they're good looking or they're lucky. But I think a lot of celebrities have had to work pretty hard to get where they're at. Now, in the case of Kim Kardashian, you could argue the other way on that one. But even then, you got to give her props for parlaying her good looks and her huge ass into something that made her a celebrity that people follow.
That's the thing. Like the following gets me. I don't understand it. Like that's something I would never be able to follow. Just someone's life because they look good.
But that's what girls in our society aspire to. They want to be good looking and kind of stuck up and be with the hottest guys and the coolest rap stars and go shopping and drive really nice cars. That's the destination where girls want to be at.
Yeah, hang out with the hottest dudes, eat at the chillest restaurants.
And guys are guilty of that too. we wanna hang out with the hottest girls and drive the coolest cars and have the coolest stuff and be badasses and admired by everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I think very differently about that stuff. I couldn't care less, man. As long as I'm happy. But I know a lot of people don't care about happiness anymore. They just kind of want those material things just to show people that they're alive.
So that's a deep subject right there. How do you define happiness?
Where I can come home from work, sit down, play some video games, and not feel guilty about wasting 6 to 8 hours of my day.
So that's a very specific definition, though. So that means you're still working in an ideal world where you're happy. You have a job, correct?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I? That basically takes up the entire day, and then you come home, relax, have some. If you have friends, get some friends over. Jess is perfect for that. I have Jess.
If you have friends, that statement was prefaced with "if you have friends." Yeah, I love it.
If you have friends, hey, you don't have to have friends. Trust me. To be happy, you don't have to have friends. You don't need to have family. You don't need to have all this stuff that I'm saying. I've technically been without family other than my brother and my father and my grandparents for my entire life, actually. Like up until I think 15, I basically only had my father's side of the family, and then that ended at a couple years ago, where I just lost contact with every one of them. And by a couple of years ago, I mean almost 10 years ago. Holy crap.
It's just super interesting that I ask for your definition of happiness, and the first thing that you say is coming home from work, like implying that you have a job, which to me, like, for as long as I can remember, the best part about just being was not being hassled by anyone and having to be at people's service. Yeah, my thought about happiness would be just the opposite of that, where I wouldn't have to answer to anyone or kiss anybody's ass.
Well, that's the thing. I work for myself. So
true. You've got a different kind of job.
Yeah, it's basically I can turn around and be like, hey, you know what? I don't want to work this week, but I need to have the funds to not do that. So, like I said before, on Monday, I'm basically going to have a job for the next 2 months. Let's say 6 to 8 weeks, where Monday through Friday I need to get up, go to the job site, get my job done, come home, relax, play some video games. And I'm going to try to do it for the entire 6 weeks. I'm going to work out for at least an hour a day. And that would be my daily routine. And I'm pretty happy with that, knowing that I have a set time where I'm coming home, where I'm getting paid, and I can go out whenever I want, but I choose to do what I want. Because I'm doing what I want to do.
Well, there is something to be said for having a work-life balance, or just having balance in your life in general. Yeah. They say a life that's out of balance becomes one where you're eccentric. So the opposite of eccentric, I guess, would be well-adjusted or in balance. So yeah, working to feel like you're doing something productive, I can definitely see the value in, but work for the sake of just listening to people complain and feeling like people are cracking the whip on you, God, I can say I could do without that.
That's not a thing that I want either, so I agree with you 100%.
So many places to take this conversation, where I wanna ask you about happiness or generalizations, or go back to asking about school. But I have to say I'm rooting for you on the fitness aspect too. You remind me a little bit of my friend David. He's a big guy and he rocks a shorter beard than yours. But both of you guys have the potential to be just shredded giants, but you don't maximize it 100%.
No, not at all. Like, I've watched what's it called? World's Strongest Man competition. It was on TV a couple weeks ago. Watching wrestling with Jess. Dude, what's stopping me from being 6'4", 265 pounds, but being able to lift a car?
Not only that, but fucking shredded. You know, there's two kinds of physiques in the World's Strongest Man. There's the guy with the huge spare tire, and then there's the giant.
Yeah.
Or the mountain, rather. Yeah, the mountain from Game of Thrones, that guy.
Like, there's nothing stopping me from that.
At just your own, just whatever gets in your way, or inertia. Inertia is a powerful force. If you're used to never working out, then you're going to kind of always get what you got. But if you can get the ball rolling and get yourself in the habit of being active, in my experience, the inertia of that, just force a habit, will keep you going.
Yeah, I used to, like I said before, when I lost the weight, I went downstairs to my brother's like little gym. I ran on a treadmill for 1 to 2 miles every single day. And then once something happened, I completely stopped. And that's when I started turning to food, turning to just sitting down, talking to myself, playing video games with no purpose, and just sitting here like alone and not talking to anybody and just putting on the weight. And
well, sometimes we need that alone time to recover from stuff, but the eating when you're not hungry is a big thing that in our society, I think a lot of people eat when they're not hungry, and to notice that you're doing it, as soon as you just notice it, you automatically feel like, okay, I guess I should stop.
And that's what happened. I noticed one day when I looked inside the mirror, I was like, wait, I don't remember looking like this. And by this, I mean, like, I feel not right. And I went downstairs, weighed myself. I was around 285 pounds. I don't like being that high. I don't like being close to 300 pounds anymore. I was 300 pounds in high school. Football reasons. That's not me now. Like, I need to be 240 to 250. And that was it. So I turned around and I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to get to 250 by my birthday. And that 250 turned into 260 by my birthday because I was working again. I was going out. I put on muscle, and I was running, and my legs got toned again. So I was perfectly fine with that. So I hit my goal by my goal time. For this thing that I'm going to do now is every other week, I'm going to make a video, post it on my YouTube, showing progress, showing my weight, telling you guys what's going on, and trying to just better myself.
Really? You're actually going to do fitness videos and progress videos?
I'll do, like, I don't know if you watch many of my videos, but I'll just sit here and talk. Like, just talk to the camera. And that's pretty fun in its own way.
I have not watched you doing that, but I think there's an art form to it, and I think it's good for you to be able to do that. And I think if you're saying interesting stuff, there's a big audience for it.
Yeah. Like,
it's a crazy good skill to be able to, like, give a little monologue, you know, at the beginning of a lot of late night talk shows. Granted, those people have writers, but if you can just get on TV and talk and entertain people and have something meaningful to say, I think that's a great thing.
It'll only be like a 5-minute episode of just like talking with OCD every other week. I'm going to try and put out this week like a story time with OCD. You remember those little like story times that I used to just burst out in?
Were they stories, fictional stories, or just stuff about us, or what was it?
It was just real stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure I've told the story about how I like cried because of my knee. How I basically thought I tore my MCL, but it turned into something else. I'm pretty sure I told the story about my hand a bunch of times. I know that you know that I have like 15 concussions, and the first major one that I have, I know that was a big story that I told. But it's just real stuff, like real stuff that's happened to me, just to get it all, like I said before, just to get it off my chest. There's been too many times where I've sat down, not talked to anybody, talked to myself, and just freaked myself out. And
you know, I'm not that you're in a position to be dating anymore, but if you ever are in that situation, and I find if you tell a girl, like, tell me a story, just tell any story about anything, you can get a feel for if someone is an interesting person by their response, I think. Yeah.
I agree with you 100%.
A lot of people will say, "Oh, I don't know any," and that's the end of it. And that leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
You can't think of any story, any time that was of any interest, really?
Like, I know I could turn around and the biggest story of my life would be that one time coming home from high school for lunch that basically changed my entire life from then on. And I'm not going to get into it now because I'm going to save it for my episode, all right?
That's
all right?
fine. I love the teaser. You're going to have to tell me when it's up.
Oh, well, I'll tell you whenever the hell you want to talk about it.
I didn't know you had little story time with OCD, or I didn't know you ranted about real life stuff. I just thought it was all topical, blade and soul, because I don't know. I just had you pigeonholed.
Oh no,
Sorry.
I've on stream I've gone over some stuff. Like, I'm just gonna go into more detail, like maybe like a 10 minute story time, like where I could just sit here and talk and vent. Just like this, like we're just talking, we're having fun, we're shooting the shit, and that stuff will come up every once in a while. Like once I put out a video, I could tell you about about that first concussion where you don't know what's going on, but at the same time you feel like you're actually in real life. Like you feel like you're there, but you have no idea what's going on.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about this whole forum and the internet. We can have these kinds of amazing conversations, and we don't have to be there sitting at a dinner table to do it. Or someone can just listen to you tell the story about X, Y, or Z. That's a great thing too. The YouTube, it's content creators and not just content consumers the way it used to be during the TV days.
Yep. And that's why TV is getting scared.
And that's why what?
TV is getting scared, lowering their prices, trying to get more channels to people. But you can turn around, go on YouTube, watch a YouTube video for half an hour and then not have to pay $70 for extra TV that you never use.
TV should be scared, because I drove down to Ruidoso, New Mexico last weekend, and that's about a 4 to 5 hour drive one way. I was going to go down there to hang out with a girl, and I filled up the jump drive and plugged it into my car, and it was nothing but podcasts. It was just conversations and different rants and raves and tons of hours worth of stuff that you can just pull off YouTube. Fantastic. Yep. And Comcast called me at some point before the new Game of Thrones season came out, and they were trying to bundle in cable or HBO with my current internet package, and it was actually going to lower my price, and I told them no, just out of principle. I'm just cutting the cable.
Yeah, it's not worth it anymore.
And I love that. The whole internet thing, even though YouTube is so corporate and a lot of the Google and all those sites have a lot of power over what we see, and they can censor whatever they want and demonetize whatever they want. I love it that we're not forced to consume all the shitty TV shows that are on TV.
Yep. I love YouTube. I love Twitch. I love all these video streaming sites that are there for you. Yeah, so, and there are people who are on there who want to talk about whatever you want to talk about. If you want to hear political stuff, cool. If you want to hear about this game, cool. If you want to hear about this music, cool. Everything that you want is there. If you want to listen to people whispering in your ear for hours on end, there it is. Is that actually a thing? Oh, what's it called? ASMR videos? You'll have to enlighten me on that. Wait, what? Really, I'm not sure what it is. Hold on. ASMR. Okay, let's go to the first one. Darling. I'm a little scared. 43 minutes. I'm gonna post it in shit posting. This. I wouldn't be able to watch this ever. Why? They have 837,000 subscribers, and literally every one of her videos, every ASMR video is a open mic, and basically she just talks into the mic for an hour. Well, apparently I'm the last person on the internet to have seen an ASMR video, but I'm looking at a really attractive girl. Yep. Whispering. She's describing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild gameplay, but she's doing it in a whisper, and it's very off-putting, actually. It is, right? It's so weird for me. I can't get into it, but there's so many people that do get into it.
Are all of these ASMR videos her, or are there other people who do this?
Oh, there's ASMR videos for, if you just look up ASMR, I'm just going to look it up for you. You got ASMR painting your face, relaxing roleplay, ASMR cozy coffee shop during a thunderstorm, ASMR for people who don't get tingles. My first time with a 3DO ASMR. By I don't know what the hell that word says. ASMR opening 36 Magic the Gathering booster packs, unboxing tingles in the land of Tarkir. ASMR ear cleaning and touching with gloves. Like, it's a side of the internet that I know of that I can't get into because it freaks me out.
Yeah, what? I'm not even understanding half of these. They're the ASMR for people who don't get tingles. I don't have the audio turned up high enough to hear exactly what he's saying, but I'm looking at a guy. He's reasonably good looking. I haven't seen anyone ugly in these ASMR preview videos. He's got some headphones on, a white baseball cap, just a black t-shirt that says something. It's kind of like a jersey, and he's massaging some strange looking white object with a face on it and some ears on the side, and he's whispering to it in a kind of creepy way.
Yep.
Touching the ears of this white object lightly in kind of a seductive kind of fashion, cupping his hands over the ears, whispering back and forth to it. What the hell am I watching?
I have no idea. I just know of it. And I've never gotten into it because it actually freaks me out.
This has 2 million views.
It's crazy. Because people watch that so much.
Wow, man. Props for originality, I suppose. Ask the Oracle something about your future.
It also goes along with the whole mukbang thing where someone can record themselves eating for an hour and people will watch it because it feels like they're there with them.
Is this a fetish? This ASMR?
Yeah.
It's like a sexual thing?
I think so.
Is it bad that it took me that long to kind of ask that question?
No, because I didn't think of it for a while until somebody told me.
I mean, the thought has to cross your mind when whoever's listening to this, if you Google or if you YouTube ASMR, if you look at it, there's a little bit of, like, you can tell that all the people in it are attractive. You can tell right away that nobody ugly is featured in these videos. I'm looking at one right now where she's attempting to trigger people. She's talking to this strange device that's called the SR3D. She's whispering to it seductively, wearing bright blue lipstick. Her hair is colored green and purple and yellow and blonde. And she's going to eventually, as I'm looking for it in the preview, she's going to be taking some paint or some colorful stuff and splashing it all over various things. Yeah, it's some kind of fetish stuff, man. This is crazy.
Yeah. It's a whole new way of looking at, well, like, the perspective of things. It's weird.
It's a brave new world. Oh, as she's whispering into one side of the ear of this little device, it's switching the audio from right to left, it looks like. The stereo left channel and right channel based on what side of the thing she's talking to. What a weird thing. It's kind of like when Ben turned me on to those how-to videos where they just get absurd.
The how-to basic stuff?
How-to basic videos.
Yeah.
I hadn't even heard of that till Ben turned me on to it. And those videos appear to be, for the uninitiated, they appear to be videos where they're going to explain something to you and it's just stupid, like they just start smashing eggs all over whatever they're doing. It'll be a cooking video and they'll just throw thousands of eggs in a pot and make a huge mess all over the kitchen, that sort of thing. Wow, what other odd internet sensations do I need to know about?
Well, the ASMR thing is weird. The mukbang thing is kind of weird, in my opinion, is weird. But I do get why some people do like that mukbang stuff, because if you have nobody to eat with for a while, or like you don't have anybody to hang out with, you don't do anything, that is a good way to spend time with somebody. even though you don't know them. But
what is it? It's really just eating shows. There's girls
Yeah.
who just sit and talk and eat at the same time.
Yep, it's like you're having dinner with somebody. Like I understand it, but I can't get into it because I have you guys. Like I have you guys. I have my dad. I have my brother downstairs. If I want to eat with them, I go out. I'll eat with Jess. It's something that I have the luxury of having people.
Yeah, you have to be kind of in a sad place in your life, socially, and just where you're at in general, to be able to eat dinner with some YouTube star and feel like that's your companionship. That feels kind of low.
Yeah.
But I guess I can understand how it happens. Absolutely. It's literally just a girl. She's got a big ass takeout order of Pizza Hut and she's preparing to eat it. Wow.
It is pretty weird.
That's the new celebrities. I love it that there's YouTube celebrities as well. People whose personalities are cool, but you never would have seen them through traditional means. That's great.
That's another thing I want to talk about. Like the people who are on YouTube, once they make it big, YouTube Red is coming out with movies that star YouTubers. So like they're making money actually acting instead of, doing YouTube videos and stuff like that. It's nuts. This is a gateway into movies and stuff like that.
That's fantastic. They're the punk rock media of the future if they're doing stuff like that. How about Netflix originals? Do you have Netflix?
Nah, but I have heard of them though.
It's just kind of cool that they make all these TV shows with high production value specifically to air on Netflix only. It's a really unique thing that's come out in the last few years, as far as I know, and a lot of the shows are really good. I don't know. Do you know about if I get in trouble if I mention copyrighted things by name on podcasts like this? Is it cool? Like if I talk about specific shows?
I mean, if you talk about them, there's nothing they can do.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just curious since you're much more legit on YouTube than I am.
As long as you're not showing stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Like on the Joe Rogan show, if he'll get in trouble if he shows too much of them.
Yeah.
Like his audio engineer will put things up on the screen, and Joe and the guest will talk about it. And if they broadcast the show for too long or anything more than a clip, then they'll get in trouble for copyright. Yeah. But some of those shows are fantastic. House of Cards, I'm a huge fan of that show. Narcos, really good.
I've heard of them both, actually. I just haven't seen them because I don't really watch too much Netflix.
Math turned me on to Black Mirror, which is similar to The Twilight Zone in the fact that they're just stories of dystopian futures where one story does not connect to the next. I think you'd really like that show, just for the fact that you're kind of interested in how the future is going to be and you're internet savvy and into technology. You'd definitely enjoy seeing that.
See, I would get into shows like that, but it's all a matter of time at that point. Like, I can't sit down and watch an episode or two every day because with work, YouTube, rendering, editing, all that stuff, I barely actually have time to play the video game that I enjoy playing. So
ain't it the truth? There's not enough time in the day.
Not enough hours in a day to work.
And if you were to throw all your energy towards one thing, you'd become out of balance and you wouldn't be happy.
Exactly. Look at that. It all comes back to that.
Yeah, because if all your energy gets directed at your girlfriend, then you become codependent and weird and you guys never get anything done and it like turns into a strange addiction. If you work all the time, then you're out of balance. You never hang out with friends. You never get to enjoy your money. You get burned out. If you play video games all the time, then you most likely will never make anything of yourself, or you're a professional esports player, which I can think of worse things in life than being a professional esports guy, but the point is you'll be out of balance if you do one thing all the time.
Talking to you, I just bought the wrong thing in Blade and Soul and sent it to my other character, not knowing that it was the wrong thing. but it still helped them anyway.
Yeah,
As long as I still have enough.
I'm distracting you, but that's okay.
No, it's not a distraction. I don't care. I was spending the stuff anyway. But
also, my YouTube recommendations are great right now. It's like political stuff, and there's drum covers. There's stuff that has to do with Chester Bennington. There's a whole awesome thing that I have yet to talk to you about, which is Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. Do you know anything about this?
I know that he was again shit talking the whole, hey, you're 40 years old, dress the way, just your age. You're coming up here with a backpack.
Yeah, they were doing a worldwide press tour, which I think the stops were Los Angeles, Toronto, England, and they went to Brooklyn also, I think. And they were filling stadiums just to do press coverage for this, to try to amp up the publicity. And it was just about shit talking. That was all it was.
Yeah. Dude, it's hilarious.
Yeah, Conor McGregor he's a great shit talker, even if he gets just destroyed by Floyd Mayweather. And you have to wonder if he's going to just get devastated because Floyd's the best in the world and Conor's never had a professional boxing match.
Well, you never know. Maybe he'll do good. Maybe he'll get steamrolled, but we'll only know in what? What is it, like another couple weeks?
It's next month. Yeah, it's sometime in August. I couldn't tell you exactly when.
Same, that's why I said a couple weeks. But yeah, it'll be a good fight.
I'm so stoked to see how that turns out because Conor's UFC fights are pretty impressive. That's the one sport I can actually get interested in is mixed martial arts. It's just so much more fun than watching a team sport to me.
Yeah, two guys beating the crap out of each other.
Because, I mean, football, yeah, you have an appreciation for the athleticism, and since you played, you have more of an appreciation than I do. But from an overhead view, it just looks like a few guys in pads kind of running around like ants. It's hard to really get a full boner for it.
Yeah, you kind of you either need to be really into it from a young age or actually be in it to get what's going on.
Yeah, because, like my dad is so into it, but again, he played in high school, so he knows what it's like.
Yeah, he knows what it's like.
But for the UFC thing too, you can see their physiques and you can just check out how they move and the fitness regimens that they go through to get to that point. And the fact that it's an individual sport, it's a battle of wills, whoever wants it more versus whose strategy is more refined. I just find it a lot easier to appreciate personally. And there you go. It's motivation to work out. See, I am jealous of guys like you and David who have bigger frames, so you could actually be a tower of muscle if you felt so inclined.
It is pretty fun being this big, but it's not all fun and games, bro. It's not all fun and games.
I believe you.
Yeah.
One Republic tribute to Chester Bennington. I have to see what that's all about.
Yeah, I see a guy doing a remix of Heavy for Linkin Park. But like I said, it's the Google AdSense knows you for like the past week. If you delete your entire browser history, it'll still kind of know you because of the stuff that you post. But just giving you, like, I reloaded my page. It was the first thing that's recommended for me is the new raid from Korea in Blade and Soul. One of my favorite Hearthstone players, Savage, his newest video from 2 hours ago. Witwix, which I don't know if you might like. Witwix, do you remember? You know how they remade Crash Bandicoot? Did you ever get into Crash Bandicoot as a youngin?
I think that was an aspect of childhood that I missed out on, unfortunately.
I used to love the games, but he's doing a playthrough, the new remake of it, and I've been watching it since episode 1, and game 3, episode 2 is out now, so that I need to watch.
My knowledge of Crash Bandicoot as a kid was pretty much, I knew that it existed. I never really watched it at all or knew anyone who had it, because that was how things were back in the day. You had to know someone who had the console.
Yep. You had to know somebody, and you had to be friends with somebody that was like, yo, come over to my place, yo, we'll play some Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, you had to be good enough friends with someone that you'd go over to their place and hang out and play that game. And none of my friends were ever into Crash Bandicoot, unfortunately.
And that's what happened to me. My cousins on my mom's side, we went to go see them one day, and they're like, "Hey, you want to play some Crash Bandicoot?" I was like, "What the hell is a Crash Bandicoot?" Went
The
upstairs.
rest is history.
Yeah, went upstairs and played that shite for like 6 hours.
Yeah, those were the days when you could binge out on a game you just discovered, but it made an impression on you as a kid. I love that.
You would never be able to beat it for a while, but you still played it.
Yeah, my YouTube recommendations are all great. They're all really interesting. I think their game is on point. Look at this, Linkin Park featuring Chris Cornell, Crawling. I never knew that they collaborated or that Chris Cornell sang with them, but I want to see it now.
Yeah, I want to click on it. Boom, done.
So good.
They're doing that. They're doing that a little bit with Twitch too, though. Where if you sign up for Twitch now, you have to choose like a game that you like, or you pay attention to, and it'll recommend you channels that you follow like right off the bat. So if you put in Blade and Soul, it'll give you like 10 people that play Blade and Soul or something like that. If you put Blade and Soul, League of Legends, Dota 2, Super Mario 64, it'll give you a bunch of recommendations, and you can just click on follow once you sign up. So like you don't even have to watch them. You could just follow right there, right then and there.
That's genius, because as it turns out, there's a psychological phenomenon called analysis paralysis, where if you have too many choices, if there's literally a million choices and you can do anything you want to, people choose nothing. They can't decide. So it's really smart on their part to narrow it down and say, what are your interests? These are things we're going to recommend for you, so you can just get on there and binge on it.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Because you'll be able to make those choices because they're going to narrow it down for you. That's really smart.
They're going to be like, yeah, here, take these recommendations, because they're pretty good channels. They're on our website. Go watch them.
What part of Crawling in My Skin does Chris Cornell sing, I wonder? I remember once in college we signed up to sing Crawling. I was going to do the singing part, apparently. One of our other friends was going to do the rapping part, and Saluki Fire was going to do like the screaming part, apparently.
Ugh.
Lucky for us, we were all too drunk, and we left before our song came up, because that was probably going to be a huge train wreck. But the thought was there, that we were going to give the old college try.
Yeah, it would have been fun. Let's see, those are the memories that I don't have too many of, because I was never really outgoing in high school or the college years.
Yeah, did you ever do a university quote unquote education type deal?
I did online school for a little bit, and I'm still working on those bills. But I went to South University online.
Yeah, there is something to be said for the in-person college experience, but Jess got to go through some of that, so yeah. You kind of lived vicariously, didn't you?
Yeah, I was over every once in a while. Had some fun with our friends.
Yeah, hell, that's half the experience right there, just the partying on the weekends or hanging out. Like the other half is going to class and reading chapters in the book, which I personally enjoyed, but I could definitely see where some people could take it or leave it. College was significantly more fun than getting out in the working world and having to pay taxes and make your boss happy. But yeah. Of course, that's why you pay to be there. A lot of tuition and a lot of room and board.
Oh, trust me, that's another story time that I could tell.
Yeah, I want to know all the story times.
Yeah. I mean, I still have my high school newspapers in my closet. I have all of my my stack of colleges that were asking for my deets.
Ooh, getting recruited.
Yeah, I was recruited to New Haven University in Connecticut.
Oh,
and that was going somewhere, and then a lot of stuff happens. Life happened. Life hit me in the face.
Wow, your frame is huge. Well, I mean, not huge by NFL standards, but big enough to probably play at college level, right?
Oh yeah, I was recruited as their new right tackle. I was one of the biggest people on the field, and not only the biggest, but one of the fastest, because I was very quick on my feet. But the reason why the recruiter decided to come to New Jersey and recruit me during one of my games was because I had a big butt, and I'm not joking about that. I have a very big butt / legs, and that's why a lot of the colleges were looking at me. Having a very big, a large lower body is really nice for football because that's where all your power comes from.
I'm ashamed to say I can't tell you exactly where the right tackle lines up. You're part of the line, aren't you?
Yeah. Right. Like, you know the guy who gives the ball to the quarterback?
Yeah.
I'm 2 spots over to the right. So technically, it's supposed to be.
Okay. The center, the right guard, and then right tackle. Correct.
Yeah, it's going to be basically the smallest. Well, the shortest person should be the center for your line. Then it should go like taller than the center for the guards, but bulkier, and then taller, like the tallest for the tackles. Which me and my friend Joe in high school were both 6'4", so we were both the tackles. I was right, he was left, and the rest is history for that. We used to cause havoc on the line. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, and the big butt comes into play because you have to get low, right? Yeah.
Basically, you need to get lower than the defensive lineman, which is, you know what a sprinter does for like the Olympics, right? They get super low and they're bolting. That's basically what defensive linemen used to do, was get into a 3-point stance, stay into that 3-point stance until a ball is tight, and then just bolt. Try and get right to the line. And
because you're up against the left defensive end, correct?
Yeah, and there are
normally situations where you're probably going to have to hold off the left defensive end and the left defensive tackle at once.
It's the opposite way.
Oh yeah, because you're pushing forward against them.
Yeah.
Duh.
I'm normally going 1-on-1. The defensive lineman will try and go 2v1. Which was, again, I was on the other side as the nose guard or defensive tackle, like you just said, and my job was basically getting their offensive line to double team me or triple team me in some occasions, so that my linebackers could go dunk on some people.
It makes all the sense in the world that you would want a right tackle with a huge ass, or any of your linemen, because that's you're going to get a lot of power from your glutes, and you're going to need to get low. And when you're in a 3-point stance or when you're crouched down like that, your glutes going to have to do more work than your quads.
It was hard. Not going to lie, all the exercises that we had to do for that. 45-pound plates, right? We had to get into our stance, so bend our legs basically at a 90-degree angle with our ass out, and hold a 45-pound plate arm's length away for a minute to 2 minutes at a time. And at some points, our coach would just be like, "Yeah, turn, like spin the 45," and we'd have to like drive it like a bus, but with a 45-pound plate arm's length out, and your legs will become shaky within a couple minutes. It was pretty fun, to be honest, though.
Oh man, for as much football as I watched with my dad as a kid, I never took time to study the positions. This is really sad. But I'm doing it now, and it's better late than never, I suppose.
Yeah, you got 11 on each side. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys, 5 or 6 dudes that shouldn't be too big, 5 dudes that should be big.
Because you're trying to get double teamed so that you can take up more of their defenders for your wide receivers and your tight ends to get through, huh? And be unguarded.
Wide receivers and tight ends always go no matter what. They won't get blocked because after 5 yards, if they get touched, it's a penalty. So after 5 yards, you can't touch them. They're going.
I guess you can use different formations too, so it's going to depend on what the other team's doing and what you're doing.
Well, the linebacker normally every once in a while would stay back and block if he didn't have to run a route.
Interesting. You make me wish I was big enough to have participated in high school.
Well, you'd be a running back, in all honesty.
I was fucking small though. I wrestled at 125 and 135. I would have got decimated. And right now I'm up above 160 pounds, which is still really small by by normal people American standards. But in high school, super small. I would have just got fucked up. Which again is why the jealousy of the guys with the bigger frames, because you could turn yourself into a tower of muscle if you felt so inclined, and it's just so physically imposing. It's impressive.
Yeah, I remember there was one time, like, it's another little story time, but there was we were going against a mainly Asian community.
Wow, that's racist.
Yeah, you could probably just edit that one out.
No, that's gotta stay.
But
it's an important detail, people. All right, sorry, continue.
Yeah, we basically, they were, I'm gonna say 20% smaller than all of us, except one dude, and that guy's name, I'm pretty sure, I don't remember it. Actually, no, I don't remember it. But I was the nose tackle.
Insert stereotype here. Was his
it name? It wasn't an Asian dude. He was 6'6", 265 pounds. He was their tight end and defensive end, and I was going against him the entire game on offense while he was on defense.
Okay, so he's defensive end. I got you. I'm with you.
Leonidas. His last name was Leonidas.
Perfect.
All right. It was crazy. But when I was on defense, I was going against his interior alignment, so the center and the two guards. There was one play that they had where my two linebackers rushed in, so we had 5 people going on their 5 people. And I was going against their center, which happened to be their smallest person. I kind of just walked over him, and instead of tackling the quarterback, I kind of like put my arms up to try and stop him from throwing the ball, and kind of crushed him, and he was out for the rest of the game.
Wait, how do your arms go up and crush him at the same time? I'm a little confused.
I was running at him with my arms up, and he was about to throw the ball, but he kind of just stood there. So instead of, batting the ball down, I kind of just like bear attacked him and like crushed his body. Like his knees hit his chest, and apparently I did something to his quad. So he was out for the rest of the game.
All right, when you put it like that, yeah, I understand more. Here's you, 300 pounds-ish, coming towards this small guy, and you're rushing at him, and your arms are up to potentially block the pass, but your inertia is still going forward. So apparently he just froze under pressure like a scared little boy would be.
Yeah, and I kind of felt bad, but at the same time, it's the game, so why? Rip.
Yeah.
It was.
He just got devastated.
Yeah, and then I think it was 2 weeks later, I had almost the same situation, but the quarterback was a little bit faster than me, and he took off running. I basically tried to run after him, but he was faster than me, so I dove, and I felt his shoelace come out from between my fingers. So like I grabbed the shoelace, but he was gone.
And lucky for him. I imagine he would have got just devastated again.
It was. I felt bad. Like I feel bad when I'm in that situation, but at the same time, I shouldn't feel bad because it's football. Like that center, I was going against him all game. It was either me or the other big kid on my team, Andre, and he wasn't huge. He wasn't like 6'4". He was like 5'10", but he was thick. Like he was Romanian, so he was a big dude. And he was going against that little kid, and there was nothing they could do to us. And at the end, I just kind of felt bad. But like I said, it's football, so you had to go with it.
Yeah, but it's high school football, so the RNG roles can be pretty unbalanced in terms of guys' size and skill.
Yeah.
But by the time you make it to college ball, everyone's like a mutant. They're all massively huge. Which I'm not even saying you'd be a mutant in college football. I think you'd probably just fit in with the normal size of a lot of the guys. So life could have been a lot different.
Survival of the fittest.
Life could have been a lot different. Yep, you could have been a tower of muscle.
Yeah.
I mean, you still kind of are, but you know what I mean. It could have been more refined.
Oh yeah. I mean, let's say if this goes on for another, let's say 3-4 months, by Christmas I should be somewhat of okay of shape.
All I want for Christmas is a shredded OCD.
Shredded OCD.
That's what I want.
It might happen, but you never know.
Nah, no might. I want you to be all in. Just be like, fuck it, this is gonna happen.
But I like food so much, dude. Like, you don't understand. Food has always been a big part.
Yeah, that could be a problem.
Like, I wouldn't be able to get shredded, but I'd still be able to put on a lot of muscle, because I remember doing that in my liquor store days.
To be truly shredded, it seems like, I mean, to do it without the help of steroids or performance-enhancing drugs, to be truly shredded, it seems like you have to, A, eat to live, like not be eating for enjoyment, and B, you have to almost be unhealthy with your devotion to it.
Yeah, it's basically, if you want to be shredded, you need to make your meals for the next 7 days in one day and have the same thing every single day.
Yeah, it has to be almost to an unhealthy degree, or almost starving yourself, or making sure that you're eating terrible food and not enjoying it at all. I shouldn't say terrible food, but bland, you have to be about your broccoli and chicken breast. Yep,
that's basically all it is. But then you look at strongmen, like Brian Shaw. If you look up his diet, dude, I can show you diet after diet for strongmen, and you just, how do they even do this? He does 10,000 calories a day. 10,000 calories in one single day.
I'm looking at him right now. He looks massively huge, but which guy is he?
Brian Shaw is the dude. If it's the right video, he's got like somewhat of a goatee.
If I'm looking at the right guy, there are some pictures of him where he's got kind of a beer belly and a gut, and there are some where he's completely shredded.
Yeah, he's he shreds down for like non-big competition. Like World's Strongest Man is the biggest competition, so he'll bulk up for that, just so he has more weight to move. Like, you need to drag planes, you need to drag tanker trucks, like that. You need more mass to move. Like, if you lean with 500 pounds compared to if you lean and with 400 pounds, you're still pulling that plane that much more if you have another 100 pounds, because you're just leaning. That's something you do on a normal day.
Dude, he looks fantastic when he's shredded, and he also looks like sort of a different person when he's fatter, because he's just eating everything.
Yeah. Well, that's why, like, World's Strongest Man, like, you could see the difference in people. It's disgusting. Like, some people will do 10 to 12,000 calories a day to bulk up, and it's nuts what they can do.
In fact, it looks like Shaw is on the same sort of level in terms of frame as the Mountain from Game of Thrones, huh?
Yeah. The Mountain, I think, is 6'8", 380 pounds, 405 pounds. Brian Shaw at his World's Strongest Man weight is, I think, 6'8", 445, 450 pounds.
This is insane. There's a picture of him on a regular old passenger jet, like a 747, a commercial airline, and he's like having to duck to just put his head through, like, in the ceiling to fit in the plane.
Life isn't built for 6'8".
No, it's certainly not. Planes aren't even built for people who are 5'9". Give me a break. You can't be that big and still get on a regular plane. But it's been a couple hours, OC Dizzle. I think maybe we should wrap things up. And
it's up to you, man.
Pull some more episodes out of the hat at a later time.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
All right, everybody. Be OCD enhanced. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Mr. Perelli.